Welcome to Lipstick and Legacy, a podcast where your story matters, your journey has purpose, and together we lift and inspire our communities, one story at a time. Welcome, Jay.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
So today I have Jay Joseph. I am so excited to finally get to know the man behind the microphone.
Right.
You have spent your lifetime entertaining audiences around the world. You're a singer, performer, actor, producer, playwright, and most recognizable Emcee in the pageant industry. And main thing that you do are your murder mystery parties. So I'm really excited to talk to you about those. But first of all, before we get started, behind every performer, there is a story of hard work, resilience, and taking chances. What was the young Jay Joseph like? Where are you from? Talk to me a little bit about your childhood.
Sure. I'm originally from Los Angeles and grew up there with my sister and my mom. Went to high school at Hamilton High School, which is now the High School of Performing Arts, and got into theater arts there. And from there, I branched out into, I thought I was going to do TV and film. And I had two pilots, and the first one, the writers went on strike. The second one, the actors went on strike. And I thought, okay, maybe I'm not supposed to be doing this. So I wound up singing, and I started opening for someone and doing actual tech because we were singing for tracks. And so I was running the tracks and singing backup. And then I got a recording contract that never quite came to fruition, unfortunately, but it was a great learning experience. I wrote a couple songs for it. And then got into theater, moved from LA to the Bay Area. I was originally in property management.
Oh, wow. Really?
In high school, actually, I was in a program for third and fourth period. It was a job working. You actually went off campus and worked. So I worked at Security Pacific Bank, learned all about banking, and moved up pretty quickly in that. And then when I moved to Northern California, I got into property management. And I was the activity director. And I started doing my murder mysteries in 1985.
Oh, so you've been doing them a long time.
Yeah, so I started that in LA. I had a manager who wanted to do something different for a party. So out of nowhere, I open my mouth and I hear, I'll write a murder mystery. Have no idea where that came from, but it took off.
Yeah.
And it was a hit. And then we did one for Bill Press, was the insurance commissioner in California. So we did a fundraiser for him. And then when I got into property management as the activity director, I would do them for the residents.
Oh, wow. All right, let's back up just a little bit.
Yeah.
So you tell a funny story. You were a young toddler, and while most toddlers are clinging to their parents, you have an experience that's not quite like that.
No.
Can you share a little bit about that experience?
So growing up in LA, we had Pacific Ocean Park, which is POP in the Santa Monica. My mom took and I don't remember this at all, but she tells the story that she took my sister and I there one day. She went into a store, she turned around, I was gone. She came out of the store, I was dancing the flamenco, and got $13 in tips. It was my first paid gig.
And you were like 3.
I was 3.
Oh my gosh. I always wonder when moms tell stories how, if they're embellished, but I actually believe this one about you. I definitely believe this one about you. Did you always know performing was part of who you were?
I don't think in the front of my mind, because I originally wanted to be an orthodontist, believe it or not. And then I was on Art Linkletter's house party when I was a kid, and that was my first TV gig. And so I guess that was always something about me that was going to be a little bit of a ham. But it's an interesting dichotomy because I grew up really shy. So on stage I can handle groups, but even now off stage, I'm more of the person that sits back and observes, and unless I know people.
Was your family artistic in any way? Was your mother a performer? Were your sister? What was that like for you?
My mom at the age of 65 did her first concert singing.
Oh, okay.
So she always had it, but she never did it growing up. And my dad was very artistic. We didn't really see him much. They got divorced when I was 5. But he was an architect and very creative. My sister takes after him on that.
Oh, wow. So you did have that kind of genetic makeup a little bit. Let's see. Growing up in Los Angeles, did it feel like entertainment was always within your reach?
Yes. And I'm glad I grew up in LA. I'm really glad I don't live there now. It offered me a lot of opportunities for experiences. I don't like the energy there. I'm very aware of energy, and it's a kind of an angry place. I find it to be.
Yeah, kind of. It's definitely has its own vibe, right?
Yeah.
For sure. How did going to a performing arts school shape you? Was there an experience that you really that was poignant in your development with performance?
Absolutely. I mean, at that time, it wasn't the High School of Performing Arts. Joel Gray had gone there. Michelle Lee had gone there. It's now the Performing Arts School. It wasn't when I was there. But I was really, really gifted to have a director who was a Broadway choreographer and director. So I learned the business from him and from his expectations of us, and how to find the depth in ourselves to perform. And he was very nurturing on that end, but he was also really hard on us, which taught us what the business was going to be like.
Did he see something in you? Did he ever say, like, you've got it?
He didn't tell me until we met up years later. And then he said, I always knew you were going to be something special. So I was like, oh, that was really nice.
Besides him, or maybe it was just him, did you have other mentors along the way?
Not really. I pretty much just did it on my own.
Figured it out.
Yeah. I never had a voice lesson until I was 25, I think.
Oh, wow.
And so it was pretty natural for me. And then I went with a voice coach, and he made all the difference in the world because I resonated with what he was teaching. And it made sense to me. So.
Wow, that's really, I love that. My oldest son took voice lessons for years, and his teacher always said, you can teach anybody to sing with control. And I always thought, he definitely can't teach me to sing, but he says he could if I paid him the $100 for a half hour.
Well, here's an interesting thing. My vocal coach went to UCLA and did a study. They put a camera down his throat and said, don't try to sing. We're going to hit notes on the piano in the other room. Don't try to sing. His vocal cords went to the exact place that they're supposed to go.
Really?
So we can all sing. It's the mind that gets in the way.
Yeah. Well, my mind's definitely in the way of that. All right. So many of us in the pageant world know you as one of the premier MCs in the business. You've worked with the Cinderella program, the United States, and the Classic Universe for years. How did you get involved with this aspect of entertainment and hosting?
Natalie Carson.
Oh, Natalie.
I was doing a show in Laughlin with her two sisters, and they asked me to come and be a judge. And from judging, I was invited to start emceeing.
Okay, so you did, since she's with the Cinderella pageant.
Right, Arizona
mostly.
Cinderella.
Okay,
yeah.
That's interesting. What do people misunderstand about pageant contestants?
I think they think they're shallow, and they're far from it. Especially in the Classic Universe pageant, the caliber of ladies that I've met, very, very smart, very endearing, very cultured. I think people misread. They see, just like they think Las Vegas, they think the Strip. If you're not here, there's so much more to Las Vegas. If you get up to the Red Rock Mountains and to Mount Charleston, it's the same thing with the pageants. If you take it for face value and think that they're just shallow, you're not looking at it right.
Was there ever a contestant that really stuck with you? Her story, just how she was. Do you have an experience where one really impacted your life?
Absolutely. Jennifer, who you met, she did your
okay.
TED Talk. Yeah. I was very taken with her story. I was very taken with her life and with her drive. And I was so thrilled when I got to call her name out as the Mrs. for that year.
Yeah, so Jennifer is a woman that participated in the Classic Universe as a contestant, and she actually won, and she has a fascinating story. And I would say too that the caliber of women that come out of that contest, out of that organization, are truly incredible. But it's also the age divisions. I think when you're over 30 years old, you just have more perspective, experience, just a different level of education, everything. And so you just get these really high caliber women. And I've just noticed even over the couple years I've been involved, it gets better and better and better every single year.
Yeah, this year was pretty packed with a lot of good information from the ladies, their life stories, and just the way that they handled themselves as well.
Is there anything that you've learned from the women and families that you've met over the years?
To persevere, to not give up, that even when it looks like it's the darkest, we can rise.
One thing you have a gift of doing, you hosted the pageant that I was in last year, and then I returned this year. You have a way of making people feel very comfortable on stage. And that can be, it's hard to get up there, especially if you're in your 40s, 50 years old, you're not really comfortable with that. Right. How do you bring that energy to help these women feel comfortable when they're in a very unfamiliar aspect?
Like I say, when I come to the meet and greet, I'm there to make you look good, and so that's my job, is to help you to feel comfortable. I think it's the nurturing part of me, and that because I'm also a counselor as well, so I'm a certified timeline therapist, which I call laugh therapy. Because when something doesn't make sense anymore, you can laugh at it.
Tell me about that. Before
you can laugh at it.
We're going to stop at that question. We're going on to this. What is this? Talk to me about this.
So timeline therapy is a process of looking at your blocks and obstacles, where they're located in your timeline. So in other words, past, present, and sometimes future. Is it genealogically handed down to you? So we can look at it. When I take somebody through it, I say, how do you think you knew you were you when you woke up this morning?
Because it's who I always am.
Right. So would our memories have something to do with reminding us of who we are?
Yes.
Yeah. So if our memories have something to do with reminding us of who we are, would it make sense to say that our past, we put the past someplace?
Yes.
We put the present someplace. We put the future someplace. Because I'm saying past, present, and future, that's time. Because I say it goes someplace, that's line. So we find out where in our life triggers existed, or where a certain behavior started. And you can unplug from it and then change your history.
How did you get interested in that? How did that start?
In my own spiritual growth, it was something that came into my experience, and I learned in Kona with Tad James how to become a certified timeline therapist.
In Kona, Hawaii?
Kona, Hawaii.
We used to spend a lot of time there every summer, all summer long.
Yeah.
It's so peaceful. It's almost like you can just feel the spirit of the land, right?
Yeah.
It's just that warm aloha. It's just beautiful. Yeah. One thing about Kona too, this is a total rabbit hole, but I love that the island is still, the big island of Hawaii is still under creation. That lava comes and it adds miles. I'm like, this is still in creation.
I mean, when I was singing on American Hawaii cruises and we went to all the islands, and I thought Kauai was my absolute favorite. And I was so used to the lush and beautiful flowers. And then I went to Kona and I thought, oh my God, it's so different. But the energy there is so
It's wonderful. It's my favorite island as well. So do you have clients that you work through with this? And wow.
I just had 2 this morning before I came.
Really?
Yeah.
And what is the laugh situation?
Because when something doesn't make sense anymore, you can start laughing at it. And when you start laughing at it, and it's also NLP is included in it. So in other words, if I were to say to your conscious mind, I know you're used to working really, really hard, and I absolutely insist you keep working as hard as you've been working, because it's really helping Juliet to get to where she wants to be, didn't it? And you start laughing, and so NLP is, I'm talking to 2 different parts of you. My words are saying one thing, my head's
saying another.
Right.
Okay, this is way interesting. We need to have another podcast just about this. No wonder you're laughing on the stage constantly at beauty pageants. You're like, nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense anymore. How long have you been doing that?
I've been doing it since 1991.
Wow.
Yeah.
I learned, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And how long do you keep with a client?
I don't want anyone following me, and my job is to help empower people. So if I work with a client and they want to immediately come right back, I say, no, sit with this for a little bit, let it integrate. So it just depends. I would say maybe every couple months, if you wanted to do it that much. For repeat, I would have to talk to you and feel where you're at, and intuitively tell you whether or not I feel you're ready. And
how is it different from traditional therapies, a therapist session where you go and you just talk about something? How is it different?
Because you're an active participant with this. It's not just talking. You're allowing your own intuition to drive as well. You're completely awake through the entire process. So it's not like hypnotherapy. It depends on the counselor you're at too. Some counselors just let you talk and talk and talk, and they may ask one question. With me, it's completely interactive. We're going to talk a lot together, and I'll have you be present.
It's really interesting. So it sounds as though through your career, while you're in the entertainment business and doing many facets of that, you've also pivoted and you've done counseling, or you're still actively doing that. How has pivoting in your life made a difference? Like, when do you see that? There's not a lot of people who can from high school on be in the entertainment business.
Yeah. And I have some friends that were in theater arts with me, and they say, you're the only one that's still doing this. I think pivot is a great word, because you're constantly pivoting. When you're constantly recreating yourself. In my own business, every time it got slow, I would expand the business and bring something else into it. So you're constantly pivoting.
It's really interesting. Let's see. I admire that you've had the ability to do that, to stay in your space of entertainment, as well as find new ways to grow and learn about people and help people. And that's truly impactful. How do you like living in Las Vegas?
I do. The weather, to me, the desert that I resonate with is Palm Springs, because the mountains are so much closer to you and the energy is just so much more loving. But it's a great place to live because of the opportunities. It's an easy lifestyle. The airport's easy to get in and out of, and I travel a lot. So I like it. The weather sometimes, the heat can get to you after a while. But overall, I like it. It's a good place.
All right, let's change gears just a little bit and talk about your cruise ship situation. So it says that you were on various cruise ships and contracts. What did that first contract look like? What was we cruise quite often, and I always wonder what it's like to live on the ship and to contract that.
So different. Living on a ship compared to taking a cruise, very, very different. You're living in a controlled environment. So things that normally wouldn't get on people's nerves, you see it. It was 1989. I was on the very first Dawn Princess. I was a guest entertainer and also doing my own shows and being in their shows, which is what they've gone back to now on Princess. And it was beautiful. I was in Alaska, from Vancouver to Alaska. And Alaska's beautiful. The first 3 weeks was, wow, this is great. And then it was like, oh, look at that glacier, isn't it blue? But then I lived for Vancouver. I lived for the travel part of it and meeting different people every single week and being to perform, which I love doing. So,
how long were you on cruise ships for? How long did
my contracts, I was very lucky. My contracts were short. They were 3 to 4 months were the longest.
And how many years were you on cruise ships
for?
So
89, then I did American Hawaii from 93 to 94. Then I was on another ship just for, I think, 98. Then I started with my murder mysteries on Royal Caribbean from 2003 to 2005. We were on 7 ships. Wow. And the mystery, so I wrote a new story every month for the ships and different endings for each of them, so that if we had repeat sailors, passengers, they wouldn't know the answer. And so then that was that. Then I became an assistant cruise director in 2013 on Seabourn. And I told the cruise director, I don't want your job. I've got my own business. So of course he asked me to fill in for him when he took a vacation. So then I was a cruise director very quickly in 2014. And then I was on 2018 on Victory Cruises, which I loved because it was riverboat cruising. It was only 150 passengers at the most, so you got to know people. That was recent. That was
fairly recent. Yeah. What are some of the downfalls of working on cruise ships for long periods of time?
It depends on your contract. My contract, I was very lucky. I didn't have, on my first one, I was a passenger status. That's the way you want to go. Because I didn't have to do any boat drills and I didn't have to do all of that. To me, the downfall is all of the things you have to follow. You don't have a lot of freedom on some of the contracts. It just depends.
What were some of the shows that you've been in throughout your life, Broadway style? What were some of your favorites? Tell me a little bit about that part.
My absolute favorite show has got to be The Secret Garden. The story to it, the music is just goes to my soul every time I've done it. Sweeny Todd, I've had the opportunity to play some really meaty roles. But a role that was written for me has to be Billy Flynn in Chicago.
Okay.
I had the honor of playing Billy in a national tour that got cast out here. We were supposed to come back to the Venetian. 9/11 happened. We took our last flight on the 10th. 9/11 happened. Charo took our spot here at the Venetian. We never got to come back and do the show, but I got to do it again in Vegas.
So how many shows have you been in that are those like Broadway style?
Broadway shows, probably about 20 different Broadway shows. Because the high school that I went to, we did 2 shows a year, 2 musicals a year. And then I did community theater and regional theater. And so I've done about 20.
Are you still involved in community theater here?
I did Chicago here at Super Summer Theater in 2019, and I directed a couple of shows, but I haven't done a lot because it takes a lot of time, about 3 months of your time. So
what separates, there's 2 artists, there's ones that are super talented and then there's ones that are successful with it, and just because you have talent doesn't mean you're going to be successful.
Absolutely true.
What sets you apart? How have you maintained success with this type of career?
To me, success, I never wanted it to be a star. I just always wanted to continue to be able to do what I love to do. That to me is success.
And you're still doing it. That's incredible. So I want to pivot a little bit into your murder mystery parties.
Sure.
So I was raised here in Las Vegas, and my mother owned a costume store called Star Costume. And people would always...
I've gotten costumes from Star.
I'm sure you probably knew me when I was a little child at that store. That's where I spent my entire life from the year 2 years old and up. And people would come in for murder mystery costumes. And I have still never to this day participated in a murder mystery. And I want to know how you got involved in it. I want to know everything there is to know about murder mystery parties. Can you tell me about that?
I can. So as we were talking, my manager back in California wanted to do something different. I wrote a mystery. It took off. So for me, I love to sit down, and the way I write mysteries is I write the characters first.
So you actually write the scripts, everything. They're not something you buy from Amazon and just act out the parts. Tell me about how you write them and how do you develop them.
So I come up with the concept of a story, and then I start writing the characters. And from writing the characters' bios, the story starts to unfold. So I kind of write backwards. I write the characters first, and then the story comes out, and then I start writing the clues and how they're woven together. I have no idea how my mind operates that way. It takes me about 2 weeks to get a story done. Then I'll go back and edit it and do it. But I've got 26 different stories now, set in the 1920s to current day.
So you reuse those based on your audience?
Yeah. We offer the clients their choice of story. I can customize them. I can weave 5 of their guests into the story, write extra clues. They're all red herrings. The thing that makes us different is that we do musicals as well. So the songs will continue. I don't write the songs. We are using songs that are out there, but we'll rewrite some of the lyrics so that the song is a continuation of the scene. And it makes sense.
How fun. So I've never been to a murder mystery party. I've actually been a little afraid to do one because I don't know what it entails. Tell me what that looks like. I get an invitation for a murder mystery party. Then what? Okay.
So let's say you're coming to one of our public shows, and we've been at Lowry's for the past 20 years. So we do St. Patrick's Day and then the week of Halloween. So we have October 29th coming up, and it's a show called Dead Again. Or there's August 22nd at Firelight Barn, which is going to be Music Can Be Murder. So you get that invitation. We do a digital invitation. It tells you the story that's unfolding. You're there to experience it. You can be as interactive with us as you would like, or you can be just part of a team asking questions, because every table becomes an investigative team. All right.
Okay.
So we come in, let's say you hired us for a private party. You're having a cocktail event. We'll come in 15 minutes at the end of your cocktail, start mingling with people, bringing them into the story. Then scenes unfold, songs unfold. Then the murder takes place. I don't like to be like a lot of other companies. With most of our stories, you don't meet the victim. You don't see it. There's no gunshot. There's no blood, nothing like that. It's just the inspector shows up and announces that the person is dead. And then every table becomes an investigative team, and you get crime reports, and you're introduced to the suspects, you're introduced to the clues and the scenario. Then during dinner, your team will come up with a team name, a spokesperson, questions to ask the suspects. We give prizes out to the team that comes up with the most creative team name. During dinner, we'll continue to mingle with you to give you a chance to get to know the characters better. Then there's a thorough investigation where you get to ask questions of the suspects. Then it's the Jerry Springer moments between the suspects during that.
So are the suspects, are they planted actors or are they guests?
They come in, they're planted actors.
Okay.
And they come in and mingle. Now, with either a corporate client or even a private party, you can give us one of your people to be an extra suspect. We'll bring them up for the investigation. And then each team gets one question specifically of that person. What
is your cost to do something like that? Say somebody wants to do a private party, they want you as their main event, just a ballpark. What does that entail?
We're the same price from 1 up to 100.
Oh, okay.
So we keep it the same price. So for a non-musical, it's $2,700. For a musical, it's $3,200. Using 6 professional actors, 6 to 7 professional actors.
How fun.
But we do have versions where it's just the inspector that's coming out, and 5 of their guests will recreate the scenes, and he'll come in as a cold case, and then they'll read the scenes. So it just depends. That we have a lower price for that as well.
What's something that's really funny that's happened during one of these shows? Do you have a good example of that?
We did a private party in Beverly Hills for a client, and they chose the catered affair. So we came in as their caterers. And one of the scenes was the bartender and the chef were behind the bar, and a good-looking guy was supposed to come up, and they were supposed to start arguing over who was going to get him. So this guy goes up to the bar, and they start doing their scene, and he goes, "That's okay, I don't want to drink." He walks over to the woman that hired us that was hosting and said, "Where did you get these people?" And then at the appointed time, she came running down the stairs screaming, "Oh my God, he's dead, he's dead." And everyone's going, "Who's dead?" Because she didn't tell them they were coming to a murder mystery. So who's that? "Oh my God, call 911. So there was that. On a corporate one, we did one out in Laguna. And again, it was a company that didn't tell their people that they were coming to a murder mystery. So we brought the CEO up, and they were construction people, so they could be a little bit dry. So we bring him up. We're doing a 1940s story. He's the extra suspect. We did Death by Chocolate. The first question that came to him is, "Are you really a Chippendale dancer?" I'm standing there thinking, this is going to fall flat on its face. And that man didn't drop a beat. He just said, "No, they didn't like the way I hung around so long." Everybody laughed. I thought, okay, that's good. Then the next question was, "Are you really Grace Giardelli?" And he said, "Only on the weekends."
Only on the weekends.
So you never know what you're going to get.
So audiences do surprise you.
Absolutely. It's interactive from one show to the next. It could be the same story, but completely different because the audience is different.
Why do you think interactive theater has such a lasting appeal?
Because you never know what you're going to expect. And even though my stories have a definite ending and you know who your characters are, everything is played out through improv. So improvisation and interaction, it keeps you on your toes.
Tell me a little bit about a cruise that you're doing that's coming up that is a murder mystery cruise. I am dying to hear about this, know about when it is, what this entails. It sounds fascinating.
It's on Holland America, Zuiderdam. Okay. It is only people that book through Sharp Travel will get the mystery because they're who we're partnering with for this. But it unfolds over 7 days. So the story is Music Can Be Murder, and I chose that one because there's an actual performance section in it. So all the songs that would have been played out just in one hour or 2 hours, we're doing it as a production night. So if you sign up for the cruise, we'll have cocktail parties where you'll be mingling with the characters and scenes will unfold. We'll have dinners with you. We'll have all these little events that'll be 45 minutes to an hour where you'll get a chance to mix and mingle with the characters. Then every day a clue will be put under your door. And then on a C day, we're going to do a scavenger hunt for clues. One night will be all the production of all the songs because this is about 2 rival big bands in the 1940s. So there'll be all this big band music that'll be played in the lounges, and then the final clue will be under your door that the murder has taken place. Meet us in the lounge at this time to form teams and to solve the case. What's really fun about this is one guest who will sign up for this will be able to act with us as one of the characters.
How involved is it? If you're on a cruise, you want to enjoy your time, but you also want to do this murdering mystery party event, really. How involved is it? Is it constant or is
Not
it
at
just...
all. It's your days are free, do everything you want. It's only while we're at sea.
Oh, wow.
So...
Okay, and when is this?
This is January 16th through the 23rd, and you can find out information about it by going to atouchofmystery.com and looking up upcoming events, and it's the January 16th cruise.
And do you pay just the regular cruise fee, or is it additional?
Sharp Travel is able to match what Holland is giving for the room, and then the mystery part, we're only charging $275 per person for the 7 days.
So it's almost like an excursion cost, basically. And where are the ports on that cruise? Do you remember?
The ports, it's Mexican Riviera. So it's good to, I don't know if they're going to Mazatlan again yet or not, but we'll find out.
This sounds... I'm going to talk to my husband. I kind of want to do this. This sounds fun.
Hey, if we can get the queens to come and get Linda, and I think we could have a great time.
It would be a great time. All right, this is a little rapid fire kind of fun situation. Broadway or cruise ships?
Broadway.
Favorite role you've ever played?
Billy Flynn.
Favorite city you've ever performed in?
Ooh. Vancouver, BC.
One celebrity you've met who impressed you?
Carol Burnett.
Really?
I was in high school, I was on journalism, and I got to interview her, and she was just so welcoming and open, and it was great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Songs you never get tired of singing?
Come Fly With Me, Home from The Wiz. That's hard because I sing a lot of songs.
Do you have one that you're so sick of singing that you could just poke your eye out with a fork?
Lady in Red.
Okay, we're all tired of that song. All right. If you could perform alongside anyone, past or present, who would it be?
Who would it be? That's a really good question. There's so many names going through my mind right now. I think I would love to have sung with Robert Goulet.
Oh, wow.
But currently, Brian Stokes Mitchell, Kelly O'Hara, Audra McDonald.
Wow, those are some great ones.
Yeah.
Let's see. Favorite Las Vegas memory?
Probably performing at the Las Vegas Hilton.
And what were you performing there?
It was a show called Dance Into the Hits. And I was one of the co-stars with Pudgy, the comedian Pudgy.
Oh, how fun.
And we had the best time.
Biggest misconception about entertainers?
That it's all about the money. And I think that's a big misconception. Is that it's all about glitz. And for me, music goes to my soul. So for me, it's just the experience of how I feel. And I sang in Lake Tahoe in a show, and I was singing The Greatest Love of All. And every night I would hit a note, and every candle on every table moved. Every single time I did that note. So I knew that tone is energy, and energy is healing. And so for me, it's about being able to do that. I know that my voice is my gift, and I use it in many ways. Counseling is one, singing is another, emceeing. So
it is a gift.
If I can heal through my voice, then that's what it's about.
I think a misconception that I've kind of learned about is that I've always thought entertainers were extroverts.
No.
And after talking to you and other people that I've interviewed, a lot of times they're not. They're shy, they're introverted, and when they get on stage, they become somebody else. But generally, they're kind of take a step back.
Yeah,
and that was kind of something I've learned recently. One word that your friends would use to describe you?
Adventurous.
That's a good one. What do you hope people feel after they've experienced one of your performances?
That I've taken them back to a happy time.
I love that.
I sing at retirement communities out here. The ones I love the most are the memory care, because you go in and they come into the room and some of them are very zoned out. The music starts. The spark comes back in their eye. They start singing along. Oh my God, that's the best feeling.
And they remember that somehow. that pulls up.
Yeah.
We just went to see Air Supply, and the audience, the crowd is a bit older.
Right.
And it's so fun to just see them. They're old rockers, and they're
yeah.
out there, and they've got their walker, and they're like, and it just brings them back to a time of youth and this wild feeling. And it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
We did that with Donny Osmond too.
Oh, yeah.
It just wakes up this young person in them again. Let's see. What has entertainment taught you about people?
How to reach people, and also to respect boundaries. So, there are times when I'm singing places when you're closer to the audience, and some people don't like that. They don't want to be seen. They'd much rather be in an audience where it's dark. So learning to respect the boundaries of, like, I'll have eye contact with them, and some of them are very open and let you in, and some of them are like, nope, don't look at me. So then you realize that don't take it personally. They're not enjoying you. They just don't feel comfortable being noticed.
In that same way.
Yeah.
Looking back over your incredible career, what are you most proud of?
That I can touch people. That's the most important thing, is that I've been able to touch people.
This has been a truly wonderful conversation. I feel like I've had some therapy myself. I do have one question that I ask every guest that comes on my show.
Okay.
What do you want your legacy to be?
That I have helped to empower people.
And you certainly have. I think about being on stage and you're there, and it does bring some sort of comfort, and you have that gift and that ability.
Thank you.
Jay, thank you for coming, sitting down with me.
You.
I'm really considering this cruise. I'm definitely going to put that information out there because this would be fun. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.